Our Model 3 has just reached 100,000 miles on the odometer. So let's answer your questions about how it's holding up. Thank you for joining us for another fireside chat. We're going to talk about the car behind us, our 2022 Tesla Model 3 standard rear-wheel drive that we purchased from Hertz Car Sales in February of 2024.
I believe that's correct.
We've had the car now for about 20 months, and we have reached a milestone. It's kind of a big deal milestone for a lot of cars. They see that 100,000 mile kick over. It's a big mark.
It can be a little scary. Sometimes people are worried about cars that are around that number or over, because we're used to gas-powered cars that often the warranty expires then, and it seems like things start falling apart right after that 100,000 mile, mile marker kind of kicks over. So,
and our warranty's out now too.
Right.
But there is a reason. I think back to when I was much younger, and the cars that my family was driving that were 1970s vintage, 1980s vintage,
yeah.
The odometer didn't go up to 100,000. It went to 99,999 and 9/10 miles. And as soon as it clicked over, your odometer went back to all zeros. And my grandparents used to say that the cars rolled over.
Right, I do remember that. So if you buy an older car that looks like it only has a few miles on it, people would say, no, that's rolled over.
It took us until like the late 80s, early 90s until we got a car that would show 100,000 miles on the odometer.
Wow.
And we had a Subaru Impreza that we took up to 230,000.
That was a great car.
230,000 miles.
Absolutely.
So we just want to give you some statistics on this car before we get into the questions that you guys asked. I put up a post about a week and a half ago asking about what kind of information you would want to know about our car.
And we got some questions.
And we have some questions. Now, when I got home from work Friday, I knew that we were going to record this 100,000 mile review video this weekend, and it was going to be over by a few miles or whatever, and I wasn't going to stress out too much about it. I didn't even check the odometer when I got out of the car. I looked in the app.
Guess
right
what,
before I went to bed.
This is crazy.
I got home at exactly 100,000 miles.
On the dot.
I mean, I don't know how many tenths, but...
That was crazy.
And so I was able to get a couple of pictures of that. In the 20 months that we've owned this car, we have put on it, of those 100,000 miles, 42,656 of it are our doing.
Mm-hmm. We drive a lot. We drive that car a lot.
That's me using this car as a daily driver.
Plus we go on a lot of road trips.
And my daily round trip commute is 60 miles every day.
That's a lot.
And it's been on, how many road trips has it been on now? It's been across the country twice. Went to Amarillo, went to Lake of the Ozarks. It's had at least 3 road trips that never left the state of Texas.
Yeah, but Texas.
So that's 7 right there.
Yeah.
And so we've put some miles on it that way.
Wait, did you say Oklahoma?
Yeah, for Lake of the Ozarks.
No, but you went to Oklahoma again with John.
I did. That's 8 road trips.
Yeah.
Over that time, over those 42,600 miles, we've used 10,123 kilowatt hours of electricity, according to this car, at an average efficiency of 237.3 watt hours per mile, which calculates out to 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour.
Not too shabby.
Which that's the efficiency that we're getting in the 42,000 miles that we've driven this car. And that's one of the reasons why it's a little tricky when it comes to thinking about what its eventual replacement would end up being.
There is nothing out there that's as efficient as this Model 3.
There are, but they're more expensive.
Sorry, there's nothing in our price range that is as efficient as this Model 3. Every other car that we might consider upgrading to is that's in our price range is going to be less efficient, and that's sad. I like seeing how efficient this car is. It's great.
So let's start into the questions and just kind of deal with that.
Sure.
And frequent commenter, Busog, B-U-S-O-G, I think it's pronounced Busog, 97641 asks, I would think the obvious answer would be yes, but would you buy that car again? Why don't you start and I'll finish?
You know what? I am not usually the person that is advocating for getting a new car. I think there have been very few times in my life when I have actually thought it was a good financial decision to buy a brand new car. This was not a brand new car. We bought it used, but I approved of this one. I thought it was a good idea. I really wanted us to have a car that could make the road trip that we do every year in a shorter period of time. And so I approved this one, yeah.
But again, you qualified that you're not a fan of just getting
right.
a replacement car just to get a replacement car.
Right.
You want to drive them till they die.
Well,
right?
yeah.
But I guess in the spirit of the question, if if a tornado came through and picked this car up and destroyed it, would we replace it with one like it?
Okay, as far as I'm concerned, personally, I would like to have this car again. I would buy it again, personally. But I'm not normally the one driving it. I'm a passenger, and that just reflects my experience as a passenger. I think you might have a different answer.
My answer would be it would kind of depend. I do like this car a lot. It has some shortcomings for me. I'm 6'2" and in my mid-50s. And my knees are starting to protest about getting into a car that's this low to the ground. So I would like something that's a little higher.
Yeah, fair point.
Something that's got a little bit bigger on the inside and has a little bit more ground clearance.
Yeah.
The problem is that efficiency numbers on this car are so good for its price range to just maintain that efficiency. It'd be tough to turn it down. I mean, a Lucid can outperform that. The newer Model 3s can do it. And the newer Model 3s have a better suspension. This one doesn't have the softest ride. It's well known that this vintage of Model 3 is kind of rough. But a Model Y might be a good step up. Or, I mean, it's so hard to tell. I'm more motivated by what can meet the needs and what kind of deals are out there more than I am to brand loyalty.
So you're more concerned about meeting the needs than meeting the needs.
Right. But so would I buy this car again? I would if I thought it was the best choice for my circumstances, which it could be. Again, I know that's a little bit of an answer that might be a little too politic, but
well, yeah, it depends on the situation. But if I tell you what, I certainly don't regret that we bought it. And if we knew what we knew now and went back into the exact same circumstances we were in when we bought it, I would definitely buy it again. If that's the question.
So hopefully, at least in the spirit of the question, would we buy this car again? Yes. Maybe. And then let's go to another question from Dan Louie, 9332.
What's up, Dan?
What is the typical range for the Model 3 LFP when charged to 100%? Right now, it's 247 miles.
That's hours. We don't know about typical.
Hours.
We know about hours.
I don't know what it's typical, but that's what our car says.
Yeah.
The car gets charged to full frequently.
Yep.
And so very often I'm going to get in the car, unplug it, and go to work, and I'm at 100%. The LFP battery likes to be charged full, even though it's good to run it down. Every once in a while, the app tells me to not lower the charge limit below 100% and to keep the car plugged in when it's at home.
Which we do. For the most part.
So when the car would have been brand new, the EPA range and what the displays would have said would have been 272 miles. When we bought the car 42,600 miles ago, 100% showed 258 miles.
So some battery degradation.
And a few months ago, it was at 250, and now it's already down to 247. So I am losing a few miles, and it's starting to pick up speed on the amount of miles that it's losing.
Yeah, so that's something to consider. If you expect to keep it for a long time, and you routinely need to drain the battery, and if you drive a lot of miles in one trip, then that is something to consider. This one at least did suffer some significant battery degradation in the first 100,000 miles.
Well, I mean, from 247, let's see, what is that? 247 divided by 272, it's 90.8% of its original range.
That's not that much, actually.
After 100,000 miles.
When you put it that way, it doesn't sound like that much.
And when you look at, yes, this car's been on 8 road trips with fast charging. It was a Hertz rental car for 57,000 miles. So the chances are very high that for the first 50,000 some miles of its life, it got nothing but DC fast charging from Tesla superchargers.
That is an important point. If you are buying new, you won't have to deal with whatever damage is done to the battery with all that fast charging. This is the perfect time to say your mileage may vary.
Literally, your mileage may vary. Speaking of which, here's a question from Herb Denny 37. Can you do the Tesla battery degradation test and give us the results after 100,000 miles?
Yeah.
I cannot right now. Oh. Here's what I will tell you. I will do that as next week's video.
Yeah.
I did not look up how to do it until I had already gotten home from work and plugged my car in and charged it up to full. And from what I've seen, within the software of the Model 3, it recommends having the battery below a 20% state of charge. And you need to have about 19 to 20 hours of it plugged into a level 2 charging station for it to complete the test. So for that purpose, I need to do it on a Friday night after I get home from work. So this week that I'm coming up into, I'm probably not going to plug in my car after like Wednesday and just run it down so I get home a little under 20% Friday night, plug the car in, start the battery test, and document that on camera as next week's video. So if you can hold off for about another week, Herb, I will answer your question with a whole new video all in of itself.
Just for you, my friend.
Just because I'm always looking for ideas for content, and I could not answer I cannot answer this question for you right now.
Not
today.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Busog. Because he's asked another question.
All right.
So Busog 97641, would you buy from the used cars that Tesla has on their website?
Oh,
If
I don't know.
the price was right, yes.
Okay.
There are advantages and disadvantages to buying the car directly from the Tesla website. First off, the Tesla service centers and showrooms are they're going to hang on to the Teslas that are going to be in the best condition. So I would think they're going to be better than just something that got picked up by a used car dealership at an auction. We learned that Hertz kept the cars of theirs that were in the best condition on their lot and then auctioned the rest off. This car was almost a blue all-wheel drive.
Oh, well, yeah, we almost bought a different car, and I'm so glad that we didn't.
They were typing up the paperwork.
They were.
And while we were waiting, I decided to go out and look at it again. And it had a lot of wind noise, the blue one, not this one.
Right.
The blue one had a lot of wind noise, an extreme amount of wind noise. And we just thought to ourselves, well, the seals have dried out, we'll just replace the door seals.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Let's do it. It was the only one they had.
Yeah.
They had another one that was a black rear wheel drive, but someone else was buying that while we were there. And
so there was pressure because this was sort of a very narrow window when these cars were going really fast.
Right. It wasn't pressure from the Hertz car sales lot. It was pressure that we knew we wanted to get a Model 3 and there were 2 left and there was someone buying the other one.
Yeah.
So while they're doing the paperwork, I go out, I look at it, and I notice something wrong with the paint on the left rear quarter panel. I call the general manager out, and he looks at it, and we realize that this car's been in a wreck and had a rather bad body job done on it with a bad paint. The door, that's where the wind noise was coming from. He looked at it and said, I'm not going to sell you this car. This car shouldn't even be on my lot. I should send it to auction.
I tell you what, that increased our faith in Hertz a millionfold.
So luckily, to change that story, about 15 miles down the road was another lot, and that's where this car was.
Right.
With a few others. And it wasn't the first one we looked at. It was the second. We looked at another blue one, but the steering wheel was messed up. And this car was sitting right behind it, and it just looked really pretty, and it drove perfect, and that was that. But my point is, that the cars that are in the best shape are the ones that Tesla's going to hang on to, because that's what Hertz did. They said the ones that weren't good, they sent off to auction. So an advantage, because the whole question is, would we buy from used off the Tesla website?
Right.
So you get the experience of not having to deal with the haggling, because you can just order the car on your phone and pick it up at an appointment. The car is going to be reconditioned at a Tesla service center before it's back on the road. And it's going to be an easy buying experience, but it's probably also going to come with a premium when it comes to price.
Yeah, good point.
I have found much better prices elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a decision that you're going to have to make. Would I do it? If that was the only way to buy a used Model 3 and I really needed to get a used Model 3, yeah, I would.
I want to go back because I think there was something that we said earlier that wasn't clear. We said that there were only, a limited number of cars on the lot and they were all being bought and there were no other choices. And then when you immediately said we found 2 other cars to buy. So I just want to clarify that they were different.
I did clarify it because I said it was at a dealership 15 miles down the road.
But they're at that dealership. Never mind. I think it was confusing.
Okay. So the first dealership that we went to, the Hertz Car Sales in Bedford, Texas, they had many other Teslas there. They only had 2 that were under $25,000.
That was the
cutoff for the tax credit. Their Dallas location on the east end of Dallas, they still had about 8 Model 3s that were below that cutoff.
Right.
So anyway, that's that clarification.
Thank you.
That kind of segues into this. But would I buy a car from a used car off of the web? That's basically what we did with this one. But we did go and look at it and drive it before we did it.
Definitely recommend looking at it and driving it because there was a significant difference between the one we almost bought and this one. This was in much better condition and it was about the same price.
Yeah, if we'd have gone with the one with that blue one, we would not like it. The wind noise was just way too bad. It would have gotten so old after so fast.
Yeah.
But it would have been all-wheel drive.
Yeah, of course, anytime you're buying a used car, you have to be buying that specific car because there's going to be a lot of variation in the conditions of the cars.
I'm guessing that if you buy it from the Tesla Service Center, you get the peace of mind that they've looked it over.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a certified used car would be at another dealership. I don't know if they throw any kind of warranty or anything like that, but it is going to be a similar car buying experience to buying a new Tesla, which, you do it on your phone. They tell you an appointment. You go in, you spend 45 minutes or less signing stuff, and you're out the door. And all of that. So let's go into this next one from Nathan Ramey, 793.
All right.
I've always heard to avoid buying fleet vehicles because you don't know how they were treated or maintained. With your experience with this Tesla, have you found buying a rental EV different or similar? Well, this car was rode hard when it was a Hertz rental car. And the thing is, I think it's going to be a little different with an electric vehicle compared to a combustion vehicle.
That's a good point.
Because of the maintenance schedule between them.
There's so much less to do on an EV that even if the maintenance was neglected, there's less damage.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
And
there's just a lot more ways to mess up a gas-powered car.
The other aspect is with a fleet vehicle like a rental car, where it's going to spend a large part of its time being fast charged, which isn't as good for the battery. The lithium iron phosphate batteries, the LFP batteries, don't seem to mind being fast charged. They kind of like heat. They don't like cold, but they're okay with heat. So the battery in this car, had we gotten the all-wheel drive, it would show more battery degradation because of fast charging than this one did, just because of the
different type of battery
chemistry of the battery.
Yeah.
So I would say a fleet vehicle as an EV with an LFP battery, it wouldn't bother me that the car had been ridden hard and put away wet. And why I say that this car there wasn't a single wheel, there's still not a wheel on this car that's not covered in rash.
Yeah.
The only thing that that makes our car look good is we cover it up with wheel covers,
right.
and then you can't see the curb rash.
Right.
The front spoiler that we have on the car is on the car to cover up curb rash on the bumper cover.
Yeah.
That existed on the car before we got it as well, and
right.
the spoiler that we have covers that up perfectly. And
those are cosmetic things. I mean, if you're the type of person that wants to fully control, the way your car is maintained from the moment it rolls off the lot until, you stop using it, then you probably want a new car. But if you're the type that tinkers anyway, you probably want a gas-powered car, right? But I don't think buying a used EV is really any more of a risk than buying any other kind of an EV, and probably any other kind of a used vehicle, and probably less so for an EV than for a gas-powered car.
When we get to the end of the questions, we'll talk about how the car is behaving at 100,000 miles, and to give you guys who are looking for inexpensive used EVs, but might be scared of the fact that it's got 80,000 miles on it, or 90,000 miles on it, or 140,000 miles on it.
Right.
Maybe our experience will help ease your mind on that. But for a fleet car that's a combustion engine that is going to have regular oil changes and regular fluid level checks and things like that.
There's issues with water filters and air filters and fuel filters.
It's not just a matter of how did the person who was driving it handle it, but the company that was taking care of it, handling the maintenance, were they on top of it too? And I can see, because if a combustion engine isn't getting its regular oil changes, that's going to cause wear in the engine, and that's a very expensive part to replace, especially in a 21st century vehicle.
You got it.
Okay, Arkansas EV asks, my question is, could you see yourself getting absolutely addicted to FSD? Does it make you a little sad when the $99 a month subscription ends after a road trip? The 21 Model 3 we purchased in May thankfully had FSD already purchased by the previous owner, and it has certainly spoiled me. Yes, FSD, when we got the first time we had it was for a trial. And I thought, oh, okay, it's a novelty. It's kind of okay. That doesn't handle this road very well. Then big road trip without it, and then started our huge road trip without it and decided, no, let's get it on there for another month. And that's been the modus operandi up until our most recent trip a couple months ago, where I just planned on getting FSD before we even started the trip. And would I see myself getting spoiled with it? Well, the 9th of October is when that FSD should have expired if I had canceled it. I haven't canceled it yet. I still have it on the car because I have grown to appreciate it, especially during a couple of specific parts of my commute to and from work. The interstate portion, it's only about 10 miles, but it's high traffic 10 miles where it's impossible, the section of Interstate 35W in south of Fort Worth, Texas, it's impossible to drive the speed limit. It's 2 lanes and the speed limit is 75. And if you go 75, you're not going to be able to go 75 in the slow lane because the traffic there goes 65. And if you go into the left lane to pass them, you need to be going 85 because that's how fast that lane of traffic is going. And some points it's 20 cars in a row that are about 1 car length off of each other's bumper going through. And it used to stress me out, but with keeping the FSD subscription for a little bit longer has eased my morning stress. So can I see myself getting addicted to it? Yeah, I could.
FSD is especially good on freeways in traffic. It's not so great like on country roads where there aren't lane markers, but it's very good on the freeway. The
county roads that we live on that don't have any paint on them. The car does not like those. It especially does not like those at night. There's one turn to get into our neighborhood that if we go to that turn at night with FSD engaged, it will never
It can't see it, and it misses it.
It can't see it. I have to disengage FSD every single time if I try to come up on that at night. It can see it in the daytime, but not at night.
No shade to the car. I can't see it either.
The Brit Realtor 2384.
Okay, the Brit Realtor. I know who you are.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Hello.
We'll maintain your privacy, but you know, you ought to check out the Living in Texas website if you're interested in a house out here.
Yeah.
After 100,000 miles, what's been your most expensive repair and what's held up better than expected?
Good question. What do you think?
Depends on what you consider a repair.
Well, we did have to replace the windshield, but there was a crack in it when we bought the car.
There was a star in it.
Right, it was just a star and it sort of
became a crack.
It crawled.
So that was probably the most expensive, but after the deductible, that was $500. The other thing that we did on the car was replace the tires.
Yep,
that was about $800.
That's true.
No, it was about $800. We didn't buy the expensive ones on this. It was more like $650.
I think that's right. Yeah. We have a video about it.
But guys, that's maintenance.
That's it, you guys.
Rocks are going to take out windshields and tires are going to wear out.
That's true.
Repair, we haven't taken the car into a repair shop yet. So we haven't had an expensive repair. We've put a lot of accessories onto it.
Aftermarket accessories, just to help promote the people that are selling those things.
But that's not the same thing.
Not the same thing at all.
As fixing something that broke.
Right.
Now, there is something that is broken.
Yes.
A couple of things on the car that are broken.
Yeah.
That one I have just lived with the entire time we've owned the car. The power ports in the center console. There's two USB-C ports in the center console. Only one of them works.
Yeah.
Only one of them has power. And that's been the case ever since we brought the car home. I've just lived with it. It wasn't that important to me.
Yeah.
But the most recent thing, and this is starting to become an issue, the plastic side of the driver's seat where the driver controls are, apparently there's a grommet that a screw goes through that holds it to the bottom of the frame, and that grommet has broken.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of flops.
Yeah.
And now it's reversed the controls for some reason.
Oh, no.
Well, no, it hasn't. It hasn't. It's perfect because when I'm getting out of the car and my legs are pushing down on the side of the seat, it ends up pushing that side panel down into the rocker arm of the car, which in turn pushes the button up. And so I have to restore my memory seat to its position every time I get out of the car and then get back in it because of that. That's something that we're going to have to go into a service center for or try to figure out a fix for it ourselves here. I don't know if the aftermarket seat covers we put on kind of stretch that out a little bit, or if the car's calling me too fat to drive it.
I don't know.
So
yeah, we can take it apart and look at it, and then if it looks like we can't fix it, we'll take it in. But that's one thing. Well, two little things. The charge port thing is small and not really a big deal. The seat thing is kind of an issue, but it does have memory seating, so all you have to do is press a button and it fixes it for you. So.
But we haven't really had a repair cost on the car. Now, what's held up better than we've expected?
The whole car has held up better than we expected, I think. Overall, the car it's in nice shape. I mean, we've seen Teslas that did not last as gracefully as this one has. I think it still looks good. I think it's
still get comments on it.
Yeah, it's still comfortable. It still drives great. It's smooth. It's easy to drive. We haven't had any glitches. Like it works great. It seems like it's just the same now as it was when we got it.
About a month ago, we took a demo drive in a brand new 2026 Tesla Model Y Standard, and got in our car after that demo drive, and our car did not feel old and beaten up.
Right.
Right after getting out of a brand new car that had less than 50 miles on it. That we took for a test drive.
Yeah, you've done that, right? You drive your car to the dealership, you test drive a shiny new car, and that is great and fun, and then you get in your car and you think, oh, sad, it feels kind of wonky and old in comparison. We didn't have that feeling.
Yeah. Now, it may have been when we drove the Model Y Premium a few months ago, we get out of that car into this one we get out of it with all the LED stuff on it and the power reclining rear seats and all of that. This Model Y Standard didn't have that stuff on it.
Yeah.
And so getting into our car was like, why
would we give this up? It's not, it's fine. It still feels new.
Giving this up for a new Model Y Standard didn't make sense. So yes, it held up, in our opinion, to a brand new car from the same manufacturer. And that wasn't at 100,000 miles. That was more like at 97,000, 98,000.
Pretty close though.
So, so there's that. And another question here from the Brit Realtor 2384. What's the biggest surprise you've discovered after 100,000 miles that nobody warns you about?
Nobody warned you about.
I should have prepared for that question.
I can't think of anything. Honestly, I can't think of anything. I mean, obviously, we didn't expect the volatility in the opinions about Tesla, like that changed. No one could have predicted that.
Yeah, we could. We should have seen it. We easily could have seen that coming.
Who knew? That's the only thing really that took me by surprise. I mean, I'm surprised at how well the car has held up and how much we still like it after all this time. I don't know. What do you think?
The car is, okay, I've got to be careful when I say this. The car is fun to drive. It's fun to play with. I mean, it handles well, it accelerates well, so it's fun to drive. But in terms of causing problems, the car's boring, which is exactly what you want the car to be. It's, I don't have a question about whether or not this car is going to wake up, because you can't say with an EV would it start, right?
Right. You don't say, is your car going to start? But I mean, we all remember, right? Our first car that we had when we were young, and you get up in the morning and you turn the crank and you're like, is it going to start today? I don't know. You know?
And we've had cars that get up around 100,000 miles, and that's where the air conditioning decides to give out.
Yes. Or the windows stop working, or some of the controls are a little bit wonky, and you know that hasn't happened with this one.
Now I've got some creaks. When I open the door, it creaks and clunks now.
Yeah.
Kind of like, well, a Subaru Impreza with 100,000 miles on it from the mid-90s. We had one of those. Like, I'm not throwing shade at talking about from experience with one of the cars that we had. You open the door and you just get that clunk, 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 clunk. It's not that extreme, but it's there, and that's because of the car's age. Is there anything that surprised us, though, that nobody warned us about? I would say the ground clearance.
Oh, well, that's true.
I would have,
but you were driving
if I
a
had
truck
known,
before.
it's not that. It's that if I had known that I wouldn't have the ground clearance for these mud flaps, I wouldn't have put the mud flaps on.
Oh, yeah.
But the speed bumps in my parking lot at work, parking lot at work drag drag those mud flaps, and they've bottomed the car out if the car's got too much weight in it. I went through that carrying with it full of luggage, and I got to be really careful about speed bumps. But I don't think that would be different if the car was brand new.
Yeah.
That's just the thing with the height of the car.
I do think the door seals could stand to be replaced.
The door seals could stand to be replaced. They legitimately could. Now, you have to work the windows to get it just in that right spot where you don't get the wind noise. But if you don't have the windows in the exact right spot, you're going to get some. But yeah, and that's probably for the age. But everything's holding up fairly well. And that kind of brings us to where we were at 100,000 miles. The car's been trouble-free for us the entire time that we've owned it. And that's 42,000 plus miles in less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And this car packs on some miles. I see new cars out there. I was looking at cars.com, saw a year-and-a-half-old Chevy Blazer EV with 600 miles on it.
Wow.
The same dealership has a year-and-a-half-old Model 3 with 6,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't I don't get it. A car that's a year and a half old with 600 miles, I'd put that on it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
6,000 miles, 3 months I could do that.
Some people don't drive that much, I guess.
And most of it's just my commute. Yeah, it's a 60-mile round trip commute for me. And there are some of you out there that commute a lot further than that.
That's true.
I know, because I've read your comments.
I know.
But I don't have to stress out about this car. It starts up. I mean, all I got to do, get in the car, put my foot on the brake, I'm good to go. The only issue that we've had trouble-wise wasn't the car. It was when our level 2 wall box quit working.
Right.
And it wasn't our car. It was the charger. It wasn't this car. It was the charger, because it didn't work on any of our EVs.
That's true. The wall box had to be replaced. So you know, if you're not already an EV owner and you don't have a level 2 charger at your house, that might be something you're thinking about. You know, we got the wall box because it was the only one that was available at the time. Like some of the other brands were just out of stock everywhere. But it's fine. We've only had trouble with it that one time. So
let's go ahead and wrap it up here. The car is still holding up great. And if anything on that changes, we'll definitely bring it up on the channel.
For sure.
But right now, everything's holding up great. Yep. I will arrange my schedule in such a way so that going into next weekend, I can do that Tesla battery test, and I can document that for you on camera. So look for that video coming out next week, or possibly the week after if I can't get it done that weekend. But we'll definitely have some more content coming for you. We'll be checking out the EV market at the end of 2025, looking at what new stuff is coming down the pipe. We'll probably hit the auto show in February just to see what they've got going on there. But subscribe and don't miss those videos when they come out. Thanks for watching.
Bye.